Alright, drivers, what you just saw there was this Holt transportation driver intentionally cut me off. Um, he knew what he was doing. The problem was he was frustrated with me or something for what had transpired right before that. I didn't really cut him off. But I think he got a little frustrated by the fact he couldn't get back over because he had an exit coming up, and I had just gotten on the freeway behind another truck and went to pass the other truck, and then got stuck in the lane because the other truck got up to speed and wouldn't give me space to come back over. But um, that's no reason to be doing something like this. And to be honest with you, it's only nothing good can happen from this. All right, I'll show you the little background after this, so you can see exactly what was going on my end. And after that, I'm going to show you why it's not a good idea to ever do this. All right. All right. So right here we're on the south side of Fresno. I just finished getting my trailer washed out, and I'm about to get on the southbound side of Highway 99. You see, I am following a couple of other trucks onto the road. The wagon driver, he's probably loaded. I'm empty. I had an easier time accelerating than him, but the problem was they had a car camping out next to me, or taking a while to get around me. You're going to see this white car here. As soon as he gets around me, I move over and speed up. As you see here, I got around the wagon driver pretty fast, but he also accelerated. He got up to speed pretty quickly after I got by him, and next thing I knew, he was camping out next to my trailer, and it didn't give me any room to move back over. So I was basically holding up Holt from getting by me, and apparently Holt had an exit coming up, so that all factored into all these problems here. But but I'm guessing that's what he was upset about, but it could have also been the fact that factored in with the fact that he was also speeding. Remember, it's a 55 zone statewide in California for trucks. I was doing about 60 at the time when you saw me passing the other truck, and I was staying about 60. I don't need to go any faster. Holt was actually going between 60 and 65 most likely when he passed me up. Yeah. Well, man, there was plenty of room, in my opinion, between the white car and him, and I didn't get the impression that I had actually cut him off. Maybe he felt I did, but regardless of the fact, one of these two situations here, either me cutting him off or me holding him up from getting to the exit, one of these two probably made him upset. Now, is that a reason to be doing something, driving aggressively and intentionally cutting other drivers off? Absolutely not. Don't do something stupid like this, okay? There's all kinds of bad things that can happen with when you do something like this. For one, you should always assume that somebody, whoever you do it to, has a dash cam on them, or someone else in the area has a dash cam and will capture it. Even if it's not the person you're actually doing it to. So that's one of the problems here. There's so many times, even when it's not aggressive driving, I see a lot of times where people are, especially truck drivers, have their phones right in their hand, texting and driving or whatever, right while someone else is passing them, right while I'm passing them. I'm not one of those guys who snitches, but there are plenty of other CMV drivers out there who actually will get footage of that and actually send it to companies when they see their drivers doing that kind of stuff. Use a little bit of your common sense here. Don't do shit that you know that your company's not going to like. You're a representative of them. In this particular case, it was an independent driver, but even then, there's still some problems here. How does this guy know that I wouldn't have just followed him off the freeway and wanted to have a battle with him somewhere off the road? That's you want drama? if you don't want, actually, if you don't want drama, don't create drama. When you're doing aggressive driving like this and intentionally showing people that you're pissed at them, you never know what you're gonna get. You don't know what kind of person you're messing with. They could be mentally unstable. Thankfully, in this guy's case, I'm actually sane, and I decided not to try to follow him off the road. And also, and you're going to see here in a minute, another reason why, even if you're an independent, it's not a good idea to do this kind of crap. Don't think you can get away with this kind of stuff. For one, and I'll show you this in a second here, but also DOT, or in this case, because it was in California and on a California state highway, I could show this as California Highway Patrol, and whether they may or may not actually take action based on this. Especially in this case, there are only 2 drivers in that particular company. How do I know this? Now this is the part I'm going to show you this part. Okay, so this is from my dash cam footage. I got a still shot of this guy, the side of this guy's truck. I can see that it says Holt Transportation, and it shows his U.S. dot number. Now you see it's pretty grainy here. It's hard to read what the numbers are, but you can kind of make out from the shapes what all the numbers are most likely to be, or at least what they are not, at least. Which you can use a process of elimination to figure out what they probably are. Now, from that, with that information, I can go on to a publicly accessible site called the Safer site, which is part of the FMCSA site, and pull up this guy's information. All I need is it's so simple. All I have to do is type in US dot and then the US dot number on Google. It's that simple. I don't even have to go on the FMCSA site to do it. I just go on Google, and it'll take me right to the page. Now, this is what shows up when I Google for the US dot number. In this case, it's 866-817. I covered up a lot of the stuff for privacy reasons, because I don't want to make it too easy for people to improper, illegal, whatever kind of stuff against this guy. If I really wanted something illegal to be done to the guy, I would have done it myself already. But I'm not going to do that. And I don't want you doing it either. But it's still, I want to illustrate the point here that just because you're an independent driver doesn't mean you can get away with pissing off just anybody. Because it's not that hard to find out where you live. In fact, in this guy's case, there's only 2 power units and 2 drivers. So what do you think the odds are? It's probably this driver involved and his son or somebody, because it was a middle-aged looking man driving it. Could be a brother, relative, or whatever, when there's only 2 drivers involved, for all we know. But regardless, the actual physical address that shows up on here is it corresponds to a residential home, residence, a single-family home on a cul-de-sac. Yeah, think about this. If you really want to piss somebody off and not just have them follow you off the freeway and possibly do something to you, I don't think that people will be satisfied with just having a fight with you. There are people out there who are armed and will use their firearms or whatever to do great harm to you, just by pissing them off on the road. California is notorious for having car-to-car shootings because of road rage. So don't do this crap, all right? Don't be the guy who pisses off other drivers, and don't do stuff and try to learn how to use de-escalation tactics if someone does get pissed off of you. I know we all have our moments, and it's hard, but if you just always assume that the other person might be armed, and it doesn't matter if you're armed or not. If someone is armed, who's going to be quicker to the draw, and who's going to shoot on target first? None of that should ever be happening, but unfortunately, there are people in this world who think that is a legitimate way to handle their problems. But aside from having them follow you, if you're an independent, do you really want them to know exactly where you live and where they can do all kinds of stuff to your home or whatever just because you pissed them off and now they also know where you live? I wouldn't. So, you know, independent or not, this is not smart to do. Now, if you're a company driver, um, it's a lot easier for people to track you down because, for one, they have a company that has no vested interest in keeping aggressive drivers. I mean, it was in this particular case, it was an independent. I can call the number that was on there, but all I'm going to do is probably get the guy who cut me off, and he'll think he's justified in what he did. So it won't do me any good to contact them. But if it's and I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but other people could. Uh, or in other situations that are similar. Someone could catch it on dash cam and then actually show it to a company if you're a company driver and say, hey, look what one of your drivers is doing. And they can easily identify what the truck number is. All they have to do, and it's also, they can look at the side of the truck and see the US dot number, just like I showed you, and look that same information up right here on the US dot safer, or actually FMCSA safer page, and it'll pull up the contact information for the company. They can just contact the company and get a hold of the safety department, tell them this is what happened, and then send them the actual footage. And next thing you know, you're going to be routed back to a terminal and getting fired. Now, some of you might think that that's a good thing if you're working for a company that you're under a contract with as a new driver, but I strongly recommend don't ever try to do that crap. For one, companies do put information in a database that other companies do have access to. So let's just say you're driving for Sierra England and you do something like this, or even just texting and driving and someone catches you, and or you get anything to that effect. If Sierra England fires you or any other company fires you for a cause, then they use this database. It's commonly known as DAC, but there's also I think Higher Right is another one they use. They can look up your driver records and they can tell. And the carrier actually will put in there why they fired you. Hey, you were terminated because you were texting and driving, or you were aggressive driving, or you had an accident or something. That'll all show up on there, and other carriers are actually going to see that as well. And if it's a reputable carrier and they see that you got fired because you were doing this kind of stuff that they don't want to see you doing in their own trucks, they're not going to hire you. You get fired for a good cause like that. The vast majority of companies will never touch you. And then your only option is to either go independent or get out of the industry. Don't burn bridges, okay? And engaging in aggressive driving where you're intentionally cutting people off and committing what could be road rage, or arguably is not a good way to make your career last long. All right, so that's all I have on this. Please hit the like button if you got good information out of this, and hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'll have more information, more content coming for you in the near future. Thanks.